My name is Rene Moretti, and this is my podcast for ASR. Johnny Pacheco, the amazing musician and producer of many successful Latin bands. Johnny was born in Santiago de los Caballeros in Dominican Republic on March 25, 1935. Johnny's father, Rafael Azaries Pacheco, who was also a great musician, introduced the music to Johnny at a very young age. At the age of 11, Johnny moved to New York City with his parents, where he was later introduced to more instruments like the accordion, the violin, the flute, the saxophone, and the clarinet. While in New York, Johnny took advantage and also studied percussion at the Juilliard School of Music. Johnny's first live performance was with Charlie Palomari's Latin Orchestra, and he played with them for many years. He played all sorts of percussion instruments, including the saxophone and the flute. Around 1959, Johnny began to form his own band, and it wasn't later till that year in 1960 where he officially organized his own band and basically his first orchestra, and he called it Pacheco y su Charanga. Johnny's entire band was later on signed to Alegre Records, and his first album recorded with the band sold over 100,000 copies. The album was a record-breaking album at the time because they brought a new rhythm, a new sound in the ears of Latin people and globally. The people called the new dance Pachanga, the Pachanga dance. Johnny later on toured with the band all over the United States, overseas, Europe, Asia, and of course Latin America. One of Pacheco's first achievements is when he headlined at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, in New York City, during the year of 1962 and 1963. But it wasn't until Johnny joined forces with Jerry Masucci, where they joint ventured to create Fania Records, one of the biggest record labels in the 60s, 70s. And they began to sign and produce for major artists. Johnny's title at Fania as a CEO was to be the creative director and the musical producer. Johnny Pacheco has produced and recorded over 150 songs for amazing artists like Celia Cruz, Tito Puente, Hector Lavoe, and Johnny's most memorable years as a producer was, I believe, when Mi Gente was released, La Dicha Mía, Quítate tú pa ponerme yo, also El Rey de la Puntualidad, can't forget that. Johnny Pacheco's career was extensive. He also produced musical scores. To name one movie, it was produced by the Warner Brothers. The movie was called The Mambo Kings. It was released in 1992, and he had the opportunity to create the whole soundtrack, which was amazing because it was live instruments for a movie that pertained to his lifestyle in a way, because he was a Latin artist and he left his country to try to make it in the States. Johnny has influenced many of us, including myself. Johnny has been nominated for 9 Grammys and has won 10 golden records. Like that's amazing to me. And countless amounts of awards for creativity. His progress in his career leaves me with the final words that he collaborated in his time to make some of the greatest Latin music we have ever heard. And he holds the title as one of the greatest composers, arrangers, band leader, and producer in my ears.